So my favorite intro into your favorite series. Hopefully, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell. And if you are not new here, or if you are new here, in both cases, make sure to smash that like button. And directly, without further ado, the first topic that we will talk about, we will address the elephant in the room. Virgin Galactic's founder, Richard Branson, just sold $150 million worth of shares. Is this now the panic that you should be aware of, or something else? Well, all about that now in this vlog. And also we will talk about the stock chart, if we see any pattern, and then we will talk about the stock performance. So I'm super excited, so stay tuned and stay till the end. So, as a first reaction to the stock, well, the stock just as of this recording, which is Thursday, just before Virgin Galactic Fridays, is down to 24.6. As you can see, about 8% is the shock of Richard Branson selling a couple of shares. Now, let's dive into that, okay? So, first of all, we got like a SEC document, which is usually done by, the lawyers of this persons, or by those people who work for the company or for the person that is selling. And every, owner that has 10 or more percent has to, submit their trading with the SEC. And then, this kind of Form 4 document is produced, and then everyone else knows that Richard Branson, for example, sold some shares. Okay, so let's have a look. So the selling started actually on the 12th of April. And as you remember, Monday was actually a day where the stock went quite negative. So I said that the volume is not so big, but still there was, a lot of more selling than buying. And that's why you had this steep down -8%. Okay. Then, the selling went further on the 13 and 14 as well. And on the 14, it's actually stopped. And and pretty much before the selling, we had about 62 million shares. And now he ended about with 56.8 million shares. So about 11% of his overall holdings. Now, I'm telling you guys, in my personal opinion, I totally understand it, because we are coming to the point why he sold it, okay? Now you can see that this is approximately worth about $150 million worth of shares that he sold. And this obviously gives great negative headlines, okay? But those are the chances for those long-term investors, okay? Specifically, Shamas is selling shares. The ex-CEO is leaving. The Richard Branson Virgin Investment Group is selling stock. All of this seems to be quite negative, and obviously the stock goes from 30 to 24 and below, and this is always a great opportunity to buy into a great company for less money. If you think about it, nothing changed fundamentally, so why you should be worried about, buying for less money the favorite stock that you can do now? I mean, that's the best scenario. I mean, back in my day when I started to buy Tesla, the stock went down 40%, and I'm still kept on buying. And this allowed me to have 10x returns on those investments, on the average price, and so on and so forth. So it's really determined by those hard days where you can become a fantastic investor. Okay, so this is what I can tell you. And you can see here the article that is supporting here was posted in our Discord. Shout out to Creative Mas, who I think posted this, and it says that Virgin Atlantic, which is the airline and one of the first big businesses by Richard Branson, so as an entrepreneur you don't want to let it fail, and the airlines are hugely affected by the ongoing or never-ending lockdowns out there, that this is quite significant, and obviously those airlines are fighting against bankruptcy. So now Virgin Atlantic agreed to another funding, which is $160 million pounds, where 100 million pounds is coming from the Virgin Group. And that's why, put one and one together. So Richard Branson said, okay, I can sell 10% of my holdings in Virgin Galactic and therefore let Virgin Atlantic still live with all of its employees and all of this operation. I mean, obviously he would do it, okay? He is like a very, very passionate businessman, and obviously he would trim a little bit of his position and put it into Virgin Atlantic, okay? So that's a no-brainer. Moreover, you have to think about it, that he is still 24% of Virgin Galactic, guys, okay? Not even Elon Musk has that much of Tesla shares in his assets. So think about it, that's a no-brainer for me that this was happening, and I totally understand, and that's why I'm just using this lower prices to buy more Virgin Galactic shares, because we are just in the last couple of weeks before the test flight and much higher prices for the stock. So what will be now very important technically, well, that we will find out now in the next category. So let's look into the stock chart of Virgin Galactic, and though we are a little bit positive for the day today on Friday, I'm still thinking that the panic sell is not over yet, okay? And I will tell you why exactly. I mean, this is how you call it, I guess, a panic sell. If the stock goes down 14% in one day, I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know the last time when this happened. I mean, here we had a big drop. No, this was multiple days, yeah. I mean, here was also multiple days. This was just one day. So definitely here we had also a big, just in a couple of days. So it's happened all the time, right? I mean, the very much of the same roller coaster, since basically inception. Look at that, look at that. We do the IPO, okay? We go from 10 or 9 to 37. And back in February 2020. Then obviously all of the bad things happened all over the world. We went back to 10.5. Then we recovered a little bit, and was for a very long time here, as you can see, between something like 12 and 20, right? 17 was a lot of the time the number that we were at. Then we went back up to 25, right? It was the summer of 2020 where we had a new CEO and glide flights and so on and so forth. Then the stock again fell, right? Then we had another jump back in October, right? The stock back at 23. Wow. Then again, we went down to 17. Then we went back up to 33.8, right? Almost all-time high. And then we fall back to 23. And then we went to the all-time high of $60. And then we fall back now to 23, okay? Now, why the panic sell or the sell will continue, in my personal opinion, because this happened, okay? If we zoom in, you see we crossed the 200 moving average. And I have really invested now a couple of hours and looked through the history of growth stocks or technicals of stocks like Tesla, Beyond Meat, Peloton, all of these growth stocks that we had over the last couple of years, Apple, and there is one simple rule that you can basically follow. If a stock crosses the 50 or the 200 moving average to downwards, okay, then it's always is followed by a downturn, okay? Even though here, for example, here you can see that the stock went from 38 and it crossed the 50 moving average, and since then we lost, even though there was like a comeback a little bit, but still more of a downturn. And now we broke through the 200 moving average, so there's like 3 resistance here, but if we don't cross this 200 moving average, then the likable scenario is that we test those rather than break through further, okay? Obviously this is always related to news, guys, so it's really depending on what we will see in about 3 weeks in the earnings and the news about the new test flight And yeah, other than that, I think it's still very bearish. If I buy and back space stock, no, I haven't. I just let it run for the long term. This is the best strategy, but I will definitely keep these things in eye. So the next investments, or if this continues, then I'm using this, because this obviously works also other way around. That means that if we break through that upwards, then this is a bullish sign, right? So this is obviously very good for the stock, and I think that this is something like a buy signal. And if you want to time a little bit when you buy, those are definitely nice signals to buy. For example, here we crossed also the 50 moving average, and obviously there was some news in the overall market, but you know, you see the pattern somehow. Every time we break through those 50 or 200 moving averages, the stock goes on the momentum run. And I think this can happen here as well. Once we broke through again, we can go higher, and also this 50 moving average will go further down as lower we go, and then we can break through even through both, and this will be very, very bullish, and we will see new all-time highs. Okay, this is my prediction what will happen if they will stick to the May flight, and the May flight will be successful. Okay, let's dive into the next category. Looking into the stock, obviously it's not nice what happened over Virgin Galactic over the last 3 months, okay? But think about it. The test flight was not going to happen on mid of February. We had markets all-time highs. And then obviously, you know, the sell-off with today's message that Richard Branson is selling his shares is obviously leaving us from an all-time high in back of mid of February till now, with about 58 or 59% deduction of value, okay? Unfortunately, but that's really the case of growth stocks with those volatilities. And also you have to consider that this is news, okay? News are still the number one reason for the shares of Virgin Galactic to go higher or lower. And yes, you know, it doesn't feel right, but it is right if you are believing in the long-term opportunity of the stock and the company to buy more when the price go less. You know, that's actually what's fantastic about investing, that if you can stick through those hard times, like Warren Buffett said, you know, buy when the blood is on the street. It is definitely, I'm telling you that, then you can, you know, expect that we can see here further declines. And as we saw in the stock chart, we are just crossed the 200 moving average. And if this stays, this is a very bearish sign, temporary. So I think, you know, you can pick up maybe some nice cheap Virgin Galactic stocks over the next couple of days. But let's have a look into the 1 week performance. And obviously also here we had the first drop of about 6, 7, 8% when Richard Branson started to sell. And then actually you see that since then, actually the stock was quite flat. And then obviously now on Thursday you had another big dump of Virgin Galactic stocks, and now it's just going further. So yeah, the market cap is currently at $5.7 billion. I think that with the upcoming news and successful test flights, you will see a much bigger space stock. So take care, and see you next Friday.